At this point, what do we know?
Well, John, we know that just about an hour ago, over an hour ago, this missile was fired from the western part of North Korea over the peninsula, then into the sea in between North Korea and Japan. We know from the South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff it was a ballistic missile, a technology that's banned by the United Nations resolution. North Koreans are not supposed to be using this technology, and we know that it did fall. It appears to have fallen into the sea. We don't know what type of missile it is, and of course this is always important when we hear about these missile tests. The shorter range are more regular from the North Koreans. The intermediate range, though, which obviously can reach further afield, all of Japan, all of South Korea, parts of Guam, that concerns the region more. At this point, we simply don't know what type of missile it was, John.
And Paula, this comes, 2 weeks after the North Koreans fired 3 other ballistic missiles?
That's right, and that particular occasion was just after South Korea and the United States had announced exactly where their missile defense system, the THAAD system, would be based. This is something that North Korea does not want on the peninsula. It can shoot down short, mid-range, intermediate-range missiles from North Korea. It is very controversial, as China and Russia also don't want it in the region, believing it jeopardizes their security. They don't want more U.S. military hardware on the peninsula. So it's assumed that this could be in retaliation for that. That's what we saw last month. We're seeing another ballistic missile test today. But of course, North Korea does carry out these missile tests periodically because Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader, wants to perfect the technology that he has so far. John?
The question, too, as they continue to fire these missiles, and it does seem to be an accelerated program, especially under Kim Jong-un compared to his father, the previous leader, Kim Jong-il. How big is the stockpile? How many more of these ballistic missiles do the North Koreans have to continue with these tests?
That's a really good question, and it's a question we simply don't have the answer to. He does appear to be comfortable with the amount he has, considering the speed at which he is firing them. And you mentioned the comparison to his father, the late Kim Jong-il. His father was in power for 17, 18 years, and already in the 4.5 years Kim Jong-un has been in power, he has fired far more missiles than his father. He really does appear to be in a rush to perfect this technology for what he says he needs as a deterrent against U.S. hostility. We saw that fourth nuclear test in January. We've seen a satellite launch. We've seen a tremendous amount of ballistic missile tests, submarine-launched missile tests. He claims to have miniaturized a nuclear weapon. The pace of which the technology is improving under Kim Jong-un is far more significant than under Kim Jong-il.